Okay, now what are we doing here? You like Alien? You like Ripley? This is some fanfic shit. You want more Alien? You like more Ripley? Well, fuck you. Fuck you for liking Alien 3, and fuck you for putting your faith in this fucking franchise! Hello everybody, Bookman87 here, and welcome to my review of Alien Resurrection, the fourth film in the Alien franchise. Released after what many consider to be the utter disaster that is Alien 3, which if you watch my review, I don't think it's a horrible disaster. Definitely a downgrade, but that's for that video. It's been about 2 weeks, I believe, since I recorded my review of Alien 3. And why is it taking so long? Well, as you can see, I am back home. I finished my first semester of college, and am now on my Christmas break, in which I plan to watch a whole shit ton of movies, including finishing this Alien review series, and getting my yearly total up to 60 movies on the year. Which I hope to do a big review of all 60 films I watched in this current year that came out in 2026. Sorry, 5. New movies, specifically, not older movies. And anyway, yeah, so Alien Resurrection, it's a film I have a love-hate relationship with. Not really a love-hate, more like a distasteful relationship with, I suppose. Also, I'm sorry about this whole camera setup, you being above me. It's just the best I can do right now. As heated as I got in that intro, I think I exaggerated quite a bit here. It's not a dumpster fire. It's not the worst movie I've even reviewed on the channel so far. It's bottom 2 movies I've ever reviewed on this channel. And, that's not good, but, I exaggerated just a little bit. So, Alien Resurrection, hundreds of years after the end of Alien 3, Weyland-Yutani, they make a clone of Ripley using xenomorph DNA, and somehow they get the queen that was in her body at the end of Alien 3 out. So it's Ripley, but it's not Ripley. It's a clone of Ripley that's an asshole, but it's not Ripley at all. And she has xenomorph blood and stuff. And then this group of pirates come for a reason. And, that's it, I guess. And then xenomorphs break out and stuff ensues. That's what we're working with here. And this really is kind of a strange movie all around. They brought in this French director that is much more of comedic art house filmography from what I have gathered. It doesn't really fit Alien much. There's comedy here that doesn't really fit Alien much. It's a very strange choice, but no hate to that guy. He was... it's the same. It's the equivalent of throwing a synchronized swimmer into a crocodile fighting pit. Yeah, they're good in the water, but they're not good in, this style of water. What the fuck? Why don't we get on to the positives? And there are a couple of things I do think work in Alien Resurrection. Same thing as with the rest of the Alien movies. The directing here is definitely passable. The directing itself, cinematography-wise, the shots you get of the big setting of this space thing, they look okay. They look pretty good. The setting looks great, like they always do throughout all the Alien movies. You got some cool things in space. Some of the best space shots that you're going to get in the 90s are here, actually, and I can't deny that. Overall, they keep the giant aspect of the ship and the ginormous reality and gravity of the location that you're in. They keep that pretty intact with how big everything feels, how insurmountable this humongous ship feels, and I think it does work pretty well in making you feel very small in this giant environment. There are still a decent amount of not CGI xenomorphs here. There are definitely some that we'll talk about later, but there are a good amount of practical xenomorphs that I actually do really still enjoy. A practical xenomorph never looks bad. It just doesn't. I haven't seen a practical xenomorph look bad. It's when they try to do CGI that sometimes you run into some things, but the still practicality of some of the xenomorphs here that you get is quite entertaining, and it does work in the film's favor very well in really, still trying to keep the, I dread to make this comparison, but Aliens vibe. Some of the xenomorphs look pretty okay. There is a specific scene in this film where they go through a water area submerged in water, and they come up in this giant alien egg room, and there are xenomorphs all around, facehuggers all around, and it was genuinely quite tense. It genuinely did work out. It's one of the only bits of suspense in the film, but there was definitely some suspense here anyway, and I just find that that scene in specific is by far the best scene in the movie. And honestly, some of the most genuine suspense you get in the franchise itself, it works very well in its favor. And I really, you'll know it when it's coming, because there's a big thing where they're preparing to submerge in the water, and that's the best you're gonna get when you get to that point. So be prepared, be prepared for nothing better to come after that. Yeah, I think the opening probably 20, 25, 30 minutes of the movie also are not bad at points. Maybe not. Let me refrain. The opening 20 minutes have some actually interesting elements to them, where you have Ripley, who we don't really know if she is or isn't going to be, follow the instructions as the clone. I should call her Clone Ripley, because it's not Ripley, and I don't want people getting confused. But it works. I love the way it evolves to where you have the elements of, did I say Murkoff earlier? That's from Outlast. Weyland-Yutani. You have the elements of Weyland-Yutani. And as much of a glimpse as we get of Weyland-Yutani we get tiny little things with Weyland-Yutani, the corporation, in the first two films. We get a good chunk of them in the climax of, even the post-climax, I would say, of the third film. But this film, they really feel like the whole backdrop of the movie. They really feel like they mean something for the film. They really feel like Weyland-Yutani Corporation actually is the driving force that is forcing these events in play. And it's cool to see how they really operate here when we haven't before. We've only seen some of their things that are a cause of things that they cause, but this, we're really seeing the full force of their scale of just capabilities in play here in the opening 20 minutes, as it really sets the stage for what could have been a great movie, I guess. I mean, even the initial story is not great, but I mean, the opening 20 minutes does really work to make you feel like you're slow burning towards something good. You get your characters here, you get all your little friendships, relationships. You get your character relationships here. Who doesn't like each other? Who's friendly and stuff like that? And there's a genuine sense of subtle dread in that opening 20 minutes. Mixed opinions of mine come in the entirety of the Ripley clone as an element of the story. I don't know. I think it's interesting what they try to do with her, but all in all, it just comes off as they want Ellen Ripley on screen. They want Sigourney Weaver, and they don't have Ripley because she's fucking dead at the end of the third one. Which, I mean, it's a spoiler, but it's a spoiler to the last movie. I'm not gonna. If you're watching this, I assume you have watched the ones before it. So that's my thing on spoilers for previous movies. There won't be spoilers for this one. Probably. I mean, there might be some things you could. Shut up. Yeah, I don't know. The Sigourney Weaver Ripley clone thing. I mean, you get some really cool parts where she finds the room with the cloning technology and the failed clones and the almost succeeded but failed clone that's fucking shaking on the bed that she lights on fire. And there's a couple things here that really do work pretty well in terms of making it seem like she has a reason to exist outside of just being Sigourney Weaver. But all in all, a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie really just makes her seem like a joke, makes Ripley seem like a joke. So I don't know. I'm mixed on it. Mixed negative. I really don't like this clone thing with her, but I suppose it could have been done worse. Negatives of the film now, as you can see from the intro, there might be a few of them. This movie has comedic elements that don't work at all. I don't know. There's comedy in the movie, a little bit, but it just boils down to weird basketball trick shots by Ripley and just weird, like not alien, just some weird shit. Not like weird shit, but I mean like it's just weird. Like what the fuck? And then the things that aren't supposed to be comedic are comedic. Like there's a character that's like, guys, the only thing we can do is blow up the ship. And then every time she says that, which is like 6 times, one of the dudes in the pirate like grabs her shoulder and goes, "Hey! I'm not dying here." Like, by the fucking 5th time, I'm like having an aneurysm and just I don't know what is going on in this fucking movie. Why are they the fucking Lego commercial guy? Why are they screaming "hey" every time before they make a sentence? Is that their intro? Is their intro song just yelling "hey"? What the fuck is happening? And that bleeds into the whole pirate gang of characters just being nothing that I give a shit about. You got the main guy that is weird, I guess. You got this one girl who does nothing at all, has no real character. You got the short dude who's paralyzed from the waist down. That interesting, I guess. You got the dude with the dreadlocks who carries the guy on his back for the water scene. He's all right, I guess. You got the dude. I don't remember his name, but he's got like a chin. He's got his chin, and he's really fucking annoying. He does most of the "hey" in the movie, and he's annoying as shit because of the entire time he's just being an asshole. And there's a certain level of asshole that's funny, but he doesn't even break that level of asshole. He just does it too much. He makes the joke. The entirety of his character is just, I am an asshole. Aren't I funny? You were for 10 minutes? We're 45 minutes in this movie and you haven't shut the fuck up. And you have Call, who is this person who seems to know a lot about the xenomorphs and the Ripley clone and what she's like, how the Ripley clone is part xenomorph, and she seems to know everything about the fucking xenomorphs. How did she know this? I don't know. There's a big twist with her, I guess, you could probably maybe see coming, but that twist doesn't explain anything. Like, the twist is like, oh, that's cool. It still doesn't explain why she knows all this stuff. She just does, and also this thing. So, you know, I mean, she's like fine, I guess. Like, the acting is okay. The acting all around is fine in some points. Sometimes it sucks, but her as a character is just so throwaway. I don't get the point of her because they want to make her like seem bigger than she is. Like the poster is Ripley and her. And I don't fucking know this person or what she does or why she gives a shit or how she knows it. And the whole movie doesn't make me give a shit. So I don't see why she's elevated to main. If you're going to be the main character in a movie where we've had one main character the entire time and that main character is kind of in this movie, you got to give me a reason to care, and I don't. The final thing we should talk about are the xenomorphs. Not the good-looking, normal, practical ones. I'm talking about both the CGI one and the hybrid at the end. Won't get into what the hybrid is or why the hybrid is, but it looks weird. I think they do it kind of better in Romulus, which we'll get to. But it looks cool-ish at some points when it's just zooming in on the face, and then you zoom it back out. It's got a fucking beer belly for no reason. It just, the entirety of the stuff with it in Ripley and like how it gets rid of it and just the weird, I don't know. I don't fucking know. There's also CGI xenomorphs. I mean, I guess they look a little better than Alien 3, but they still look like fucking dog shit. So, is that everything I have to say about this fucking movie? I think that's everything I have to say about this fucking movie. Well, Alien Resurrection, I don't know what's going on here. Eventually, I probably will, in my life, have to rewatch this film for something or another. But I already did my review here, so that doesn't need to be for a long time. Yippee! I was actually very generous about my rating for this movie. Most movies I give this rating to, I have a little bit more positive to say about it. But you know what? Fuck it. I guess there were some things I had fun with because of how stupid it was. So, whatever. Which is why I'm going to give Alien Resurrection a 2 out of 5 stars. But to finish off here, what did you think of Alien Resurrection if you have seen it? Do you actually find this movie to be pretty fun? Or do you think it's like absolutely a disgrace, embarrassment, insult to the franchise and everything that it holds dear? Let me know down below. Let me know all your thoughts on everything in life in general at some point or something, I guess. I don't even fucking know. Thank you all for watching. Bookman87 out.